Luigi Prima, and you're watching Ocola TV, where they have the best of pizza every day, made by me, Luigi Prima.
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pro Wrestling 60, where we discuss everything that happened in the world of professional wrestling this week in 60 minutes or less. I'm XLJ, the OG, joined by my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, Mr. Broll.
How are we doing out there, world? I hope everyone is fine and dandy and sweet like candy. Still in one of your lines there. But man, oh man, XLJ, I get tired of saying this. I get tired of it. But
what a week!
What a week! What a week in the world of pro wrestling. So we got 60 minutes here. So let's try to cover as much as we can, and let's go ahead and get right into it.
That's right. And of course, you knew this was going to be our top story, folks. Triple H come out and said he had a monumental announcement this past Monday night on Raw, and thus here it is in all of her glory, the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Everybody and their mother's got an opinion on this one.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm trying to let it grow on me, but I don't know.
I'll say this. The look of it has grown on me from my initial reaction, at least.
I agree 100% with that.
So this shot of it right here that we have up right now does not do it justice. Like the shot we had before, you're like, okay, this is like,
yeah, let's go.
It's a pretty nice looking belt. But so the unveiling of it, just to sum it up, my initial reaction, and because I'll admit I was not initially a fan of it, because to me, like the big gold is like one of the perfect. It's like a perfect belt, and you just shouldn't have tried to recreate it.
Yeah,
but
I can understand why they did it though. I get it. It's it's kind of neat. I get like Intercontinental title remake vibes, like the current IC title, which honestly I'm not a fan of that design.
Yeah.
It's okay, but aesthetically talking about the belt, let's talk about what I think like I'm not a huge fan of is okay, now we've got a third world championship. I mean, I get it. They're trying to get themselves out of like not having a both titles on one show. But I mean, here you have like Roman's got the belts. We can't take the belts off of him. We got to keep this reign going. No pun intended. But seriously, I don't know. And I'm for one, I'm old school. I'm a traditionalist. I firmly believe just have one championship belt.
Yeah.
And they can go between shows and defend it as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But that's obviously not going to be the case. And if you think about it too, you have Fox Network, you have USA Network. They want their own championship, their own title defenses. So this is a way to solve that.
Yes. And I'll go into it real quick because we don't want to spend the whole show just talking about this belt, although we probably could.
We could.
Two people to me, kind of three, and one's already talked about it. Seth was one of those people that I feel like Seth Rollins is one of the that needed to talk about the belt. The other two are Cody and Roman. I feel like Cody and Roman need to bring up this new belt. I think Roman needs to just kind of have the attitude of, well, I'll just win that one too. And then Cody, honestly, even though when you look at this belt looks tailor-made for Cody. It's the old school. It's got the world heavyweight title vibes. It's got even like the globe in the middle has like NWA vibes.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know. Like
Cody needs to come out and say he has no interest in competing for this belt.
I would be fine. See, that's my biggest gripe with it, B-roll, is damn it. Like it needs to be Cody's first major championship in WWE needs to be the WWE title.
Yes,
It doesn't need
yes.
to be this, but I hope it goes to Seth, but I don't know. It seems like all signs point towards
So
Cody.
I think in Raw and when we get to our Raw slide, you'll see it. There was two people that went over to the belt and directly looked at it.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins and Finn Balor.
There you go. And that would be interesting to see. But yeah, like we say, it wasn't too popular of a decision for Papa H. A lot of people kind of griping about this. So much so here at PW60, we got some exclusive footage from Monday Night Raw that you did not see from this segment. Check this out.
Bow down to the king. Welcome, WWE Universe. We here had decided that you deserve a fighting champion. Plus, we want Roman Reigns to have the championship until 2035. So now, I'm going to unveil a championship that everyone wants. In partnership with other companies that we like to bring in as advertisements, we are going to give you the Intuit TurboTax World Championship. You don't like that? Okay, back to the drawing board. I don't think anyone liked that idea, so I've decided I'm going to combine everyone's favorite rap group and their favorite concept from the hardcore title mixed in with a little bit of cough syrup. I bring to you the 24/7/36 Mafia World Championship. How about them apples? No? Okay. We're going to stay relevant with the times, and our big subject right now is everyone's favorite Elon Musk-run website, Twitter. I bring to you the Blue Checkmark World Championship. A resounding no. I'll be damned. Vince, why are you flipping me off? The original AEW Women's Championship. Okay, worth a shot. The Norman Smiley Memorial Championship. What do you mean he's still alive? He works here? Alright, we're hip with the times, and we know, that Marvel and DC is both all about the multiverse. Well, we're got the Universal Championship, we're now gonna have the Multiverse Championship, where we commemorate an alternate universe where Cody won at WrestleMania 39. Alright, that was one failure after another, kind of like after I go to Taco Bell, Baja Blast. But I think I got a winner, All I had to do was take that belt and slap a freaking W on it. How about them apples? You still don't like it, huh? I can't make any of you happy. Unlike me with a box of animal crackers. That's when I'm at my happiest. What the hell is going to make you people happy? When are you gonna get what you want? Well, you know what? Here, I got something for you. The game has something for you. For your entertainment. I bring to you Jim Ross with Tourette's, singing Love Shack by the B-52s. Hop in my Chrysler, it's as big as a whale, you son of a bitch! And it's about to set sail. God damn it, Austin! I got me a car, it seats about 20, so come on and bring your jukebox money. Business done picked up, you Jezebel motherfucker! Love Shack is a little old place where we can get together, Austin! Fuck! Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. You want some of that barbecue sauce on it? God damn it! Love Shack, baby, Love Shack. Fuck! Shania Twain, motherfucker!
I'm sorry, I can't fucking help it. Oh, well, there you have it, folks. Oh God, Best Scout is a fucking treasure. Oh my God. Yes, a little bit behind the scenes. You just can't make them all happy, can you, B-roll?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, let's get back into it here. All right.
Now let's go back to
Now
Best
we got to
Scouts
talk
video.
about. Yeah, let's replay that. So the big news this week with Mr. Punk is, well, he was checking out a lot of different wrestling shows this week, huh? The biggest, of course, being his behind the scenes at Monday Night Raw. Of course, Raw did take place this week in Chicago at the Allstate Arena. Um, Interesting, like some tidbits that come out of that. Apparently, Punk had talked to some guys he had some beefs with before, like The Miz. Apparently, had a brief conversation maybe with Triple H. Now, rumor has it supposedly that Punk was asked to leave the building, and supposedly it was a Vince McMahon call, but who knows? But he left the arena nonetheless. But hey, he wasn't done this week, was he? He ended up actually showing up at the Impact tapings, which was also held in Chicago this week as well, over the weekend. So, yeah, Mr. Punk's just trying to check out all these shows. You know, he's living his best life, right? He was also spotted at a Wawa B-roll. I saw some footage of that today as well.
He
So,
was spotted where?
at a Wawa. You never heard of a Wawa? It's like a gas station. Oh, they're magical. But anyways, CM Punk here, there, and everywhere. Well, all this week the talk was the draft. And night one of the draft kicked off on SmackDown. And let's get into those draft picks, shall we, Mr. B-Roll?
Let's do it.
So the very first overall pick I found was interesting because, of course, it was going to be Roman. But the bloodline was picked. It was Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, and Solo Sikoa.
Solo.
But no Usos. Oh. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens from there. Cody Rhodes was the number one draft pick for Monday Night Raw and will stay on Monday Night Raw, which I don't know. This whole Roman Cody, finish the story, like now it looks like he may go after the world title. Who fucking knows at this point? But I don't know. I guess trust the process, but we shall see. In a surprise, Bianca Belair drafted to SmackDown, and she'll be taking the Raw Women's Championship with her. Or will she? You have Becky Lynch is going to stay on Raw. The Street Profits were drafted to SmackDown, which I thought was weird that they kept them together because we're pretty sure they're going to split up at some point. How about this one, B-roll? Imperium drafted over to Monday Night Raw. So Gunther's bringing the Intercontinental title with him.
Yeah, not surprised there.
Yeah, they needed a fresh coat of paint, kind of, sort of. So I think they'll dominate on Raw. And going over to SmackDown, Hall of Famer Rated R Superstar Edge. You have Riddle was drafted to Monday Night Raw, so he's staying on the Raw brand. Bobby Lashley moving over to SmackDown.
Yeah.
And then you got Drew McIntyre going over to Raw. A little bit of a surprise here. How about the OC getting drafted to SmackDown?
Well,
and a returning AJ Styles.
Yeah, say biggest part about that was returning AJ Styles.
Yeah, then you had the Miz staying on Raw. Damage Control is going to SmackDown. Like, couldn't they split them up, man? But whatever. Shinsuke Nakamura is going over to Monday Night Raw, which I think that will be great. But how about these last two picks in the first round of the draft, B-roll? You got Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, the NXT Tag Team Champions, have been drafted to SmackDown. And Indy Hartwell, the NXT Women's Champion, is going to Monday Night Raw. What do you make of the first round of Raw, of the draft?
Yeah, the NXT, like, picking the champions was a little bit surprising for me.
Agreed.
And noted that Indy Hartwell was in a boot.
Yeah, from the injury from spring break, and which we'll talk about that here in a little bit.
Yeah. So obviously, I mean, it looks like they are trying to reunite the way.
I'm excited about that
for Raw. So that makes sense. The Alba Fire and the I'm sorry, I don't even know the
Isla Dawn.
Isla Dawn. There we go. That one surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, it's definitely going to help beef up the women's roster, for
Yeah.
sure, as well. All right, Mr. B-roll, it's come that time of the week. We got to go to our tribal queen for the tidbit of the week, and it's going to be an interesting one. You'll see.
Hi everyone, this is your Travel Queen Bree with your Travel Queen Tidbit of the Week. I wish I was coming with happy news, but unfortunately, not so much today. As we found out that one of my least favorite wrestlers is a free agent on the main roster. And that will be the generic asshole Von Wagner. Von Wagner, if you see this, I don't fucking like you. You are fucking generic. You will never have a fucking regular character. You're always going to be generic. You need to go back to your fucking caveman hole and stay there. Or go back to NXT, stay with Robert Stone, do whatever the fuck you were doing, because it's still not working for you. And it will never work for you on the main roster. So, you do not belong. You are fucking generic. I don't like you. Bye. And that was your Tribal Queen Tidbit of the Week. Or rant, I should say. Something like that.
Tell us how you really feel about it. Jeez.
she
Yeah.
loves her some Von Wagner.
Yeah. So,
Not
yeah,
really.
and I feel like I'm not trying to throw you under the bus here, buddy, but I really feel like you talked this into existence, my friend, because in our little chat, you mentioned this, and it's like, oh, God, now it's going to happen. Well, guess what? Von Wagner is now part of Friday Night SmackDown.
No, he's not.
Yeah, didn't he get drafted to SmackDown?
No, he's a free agent.
I thought he got drafted.
He is a free agent alongside.
So what the fuck's that even mean?
So okay, I got it right in front of me because this all happened on SmackDown Lowdown, which you
Yes.
know
Yeah.
most people are like, I don't even know what this is.
I don't even know what the hell SmackDown Lowdown is. So so I'm confused. Von Wagner isn't drafted?
No, he's getting called up, but he's not. Okay.
Oh, we don't know where he's going yet.
Yeah, listen. Let me educate you. All right. So this is straight from Wrestling Inc. I mean, giving them credit for my source right here. So let's see. So MVP and Omos, Mustafa Ali, Dolph Ziggler, and NXT call-up Von Wagner will all be free agents.
Okay, and they can show up on any brand.
And they can show up on any brand.
Sorry, but it's fucking stupid if you ask me. Put him on a brand and just stick with it.
Yeah.
But
basically it's basically saying he's going to be on Raw or SmackDown, basically.
Yeah. But some other names staying on the SmackDown roster, you have Hit Row. Looks like they're staying on SmackDown. As well as you've got Lacey Evans is staying on SmackDown. So we did have some NXT call-ups too in the supplemental draft, and they're all on Monday Night Raw. Apollo Crews is going back to the main roster. Zoe Stark, who I'm so excited. I think that's going to be awesome to see her on Monday Night Raw. And how about JD McDonough getting called up too? It was announced that Maximum Male Models, Chelsea Green, Sonya Deville, Candice LeRae are all staying on Monday Night Raw. The Viking Raiders are going to Raw too. So, hey, so far the draft has moved a lot of people around, but we'll have to wait and see what happens next because Monday Night Raw will be the next round, if you will.
I thought you were going to say, well, we're just going to have to see. Well, wait 2 weeks, and then everybody's going to be going everywhere anyway. So,
yeah. So time will tell, but we'll find out soon enough. Well, it's come that time of the week. Let's go to Dad Hat for his Dad Hat tip of the week.
It's that time of the week again. Dad Hat's Life Lessons of the Week. Brought to you by World Championship Wreckage. Find them on YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. And also by the Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. every Wednesday, twitch.tv/Wrestle Talk Wolfpack. And now, here's Dad Hat.
All right, kids, remember, always let someone know where you are. All right? Always have at least one person who knows where you are.
It's fucking Roderick Strong!
Yeah, it is. How about this news coming out this week, Mr. B-Roll? Roderick Strong making a shocking debut in AEW to save his former partner and friend, Adam Cole. This was a pretty shocking debut. I don't think, yeah, I agree. Definitely, because this got me. It's hard this day and age to surprise somebody with a debut, but this one really did because it was just kind of off. He went off the radar, not really realizing, oh, yeah, his contract's up. He'd been injured, But Roderick Strong making his triumphant return to the world of wrestling. And now we can say Roderick Strong is all elite. What do you make of this?
I'll tell you exactly what I make of this. Shock the effing system.
Yes. Come on, let's get Bobby Fish back in there.
Come on.
Oh man.
Oh man, I just had a thought too.
Elite.
I just had a thought.
What's that?
They're doing a freaking. Oh, I don't need to derail us, but they announced like today or something recently that they're doing like a trios battle royale thing, like this Dynamite.
Oh, you sly person!
I didn't even put two and two together.
You never
know. This
is
my genuine reaction. Oh,
you never know.
Another side note on that, since I've already derailed us, they're freaking teaming Vikino with the Lucha Brothers. Like that team is not there.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty dope. But hey, you know what? That wasn't the only shocking and surprise debut this week in wrestling. How about this? The debut of Trinity Fatu. Trinity has signed with Impact Wrestling. She is now part of the Knockouts division. And hey, this Thursday night, she will be there with a live mic. Of course, they did the tapings over the weekend here in Chicago. How excited are you for this to see Trinity in the Knockouts division?
I mean, can you blame her? Like
No.
The best booked women's division in all of wrestling. So why not go to Impact? I'm still a little bit surprised they did it at the tapings, but like I think they've done what they wanted to though, and like they've created a lot of buzz, and I would expect that they'll have really good numbers like this Thursday. Like I think people are going to go out of their way to watch Impact on Thursday.
Oh, I think so too, man. Yeah, definitely. Can't wait to hear what she says, and I can't wait to see where she goes from here. And she's gonna have an amazing career there. I think she's gonna have a lot of great talent to work with. So.
Well, and the thing now that I love is to like look at this. Like we have a Multiverse United event too coming up, so she could possibly get reunited with Mercedes Moné. Or they may go against each other. Like, who knows?
Who knows? It's endless possibilities. Well, hey, this week, Brian from Brian's House of Random has a really random thought for the week that we want to share with you all. So check this out.
You might be asking yourself, wait, hold on. That looks different. Yes, it is. It's the Brian's House of Random logo. And what is it on? Some sort of coffee cup? Cup of coffee in the big time, yeah. Oh, wait, I can't drink coffee from that, but I can sure drink coffee from my cup. Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time. Wow, freak out. I love that meme and that sound bit from Randy Savage. So, this right here is a car freshie. My wife, look her up online on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, MDB's Crafts. If you go to my profile there on those platforms, you'll find it there as well. And she makes car freshies and all kinds of great stuff. She made a personal one in it. It does smell like coffee. It's not like in Toy Story 3 where that bear's like, it smells like strawberries. It's more like, smells like coffee. Anyway, so here for PW60. Good brain fuel, vitamin C, caffeine, baby. All right, so WrestleMania, of course, was in the books earlier this month. And coming up, or now, actually last month. Now we're in May. I got to get my dates right. Woo, haha. That's called Look at the Calendar, Brian. Pre-prep. All right, so all kidding aside, coming up this weekend on Saturday in Puerto Rico will be the Backlash premium live event. I'm old school. I still say pay-per-view, man. So, quite simply, this week's segment of Brian's House of Random and Random Thought is just a simple one. And it's going to be this. Give me your, and I'm going to do what I do on TikTok, top 5 format. So, I want your comment below in the, of course, comment section. Comment below your personal top 5 Backlash predictions. What do you think is going to happen with certain championships? What's going to happen with Cody versus Brock? Maybe you have a prediction for that, or a thought, maybe a booking idea. But give me your top 5 predictions for Backlash coming up on Saturday. What do you think is going to happen? So, have yourself a great day. Enjoy some coffee. In the big time. Yeah, dig it.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, Brian bringing the thunder here. Yeah. And we've got our thoughts on this, don't we, Mr. B-Roll? But hey, if you want to find out those thoughts, tune in later this week for our very special Backlash prediction show, which will be available on Cole TV. But hey, let's run down the card here, which I think is finalized. I mean, they may add a match or something here, but it's looking pretty solid. You got 7 matchups announced so far. We got, of course, Brock and Cody one-on-one for the first time ever. One match we knew was coming, although we didn't know it would be this. Personally, thought it was going to be a tag match, but it looks like Bad Bunny is going to take on his former partner, Damian Priest, in a street fight. Should be interesting. We got a 6-man tag, a trios match, if you will, with the Bloodline, or the Bloodline with the Usos, however you want to word that, against your still undisputed tag team champions, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Riddle. How about that 3-way match for the U.S. title? Bronson Reed and Bobby Lashley challenge Austin Theory. Going to be a slobber knocker. And we've also got 2 women's championship matchups, which I'm really looking forward to those matches. I think they could steal the show possibly. Of course, Bianca Belair defending her championship against Io Sky, which should be phenomenal. And what may be one of the most heartfelt matches of the night for the SmackDown Women's Championship with Rhea Ripley defending against the hometown girl herself, Selena Vega, there in Puerto Rico. That should be a very emotional matchup. And yeah, you got Seth Rollins against this big fucking goof. But anyways.
Yeah. Honestly, I hope that the Zelina Vega Rhea Ripley isn't like a squash. I hope it's like match of the night. I feel like
I think they're going to give it some time, honestly, because I feel like with it being Selena's hometown and stuff, it's going to be like it's always good to see those homecoming type of matches and being in a championship match. I mean, you remember a couple months ago, when we got to see Sami Zayn and Roman in Montreal? Of course, it's not going to equal that, but I mean, it's going to be a pretty cool moment for Selena Vega nonetheless.
Overall, I feel like this is just going to be it's going to be a fun show. Is how I'm going to describe this.
I think so too.
You have some storylines and some stuff, but I mean, I think it's going to be fun. This show is going to be about like the atmosphere of being in Puerto Rico and stuff.
Yeah,
too. So
it's going to be the perfect way to describe this show is fun.
Yeah,
I totally agree. It's going to be a fun show, and we're looking forward to it. Well, also this week, Tony Khan had another announcement, but this one actually is a pretty good one, I think. I kind of hold it personally. I think it's pretty big because it is the Owen Hart Foundation tournament will be returning to AEW this summer with a women's and men's tournament. Here's the cool aspects about this B-roll that I really love. Number one, some of the tournament matches will take place at Forbidden Door, so you're going to have some New Japan talent involved. And I think that's really cool, too, because keep in mind, Owen Hart is a former IWGP light heavyweight champion. But the coolest thing to me, the finals B-roll, it's going to be right in Owen's hometown, home of the Hearts, Calgary, Alberta, Canada. How awesome is that?
Yeah. Well, I think they even said like all the tournament matches are going to be taking place in Canada. So I think they said that.
Oh, that's right. Well,
because they're going on like a Canadian tour. So
yeah, and Forbidden Door is in Toronto. So yeah, that's interesting. I didn't catch that aspect of it. That's pretty cool though, nonetheless. But be on the lookout this summer for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament returning to AEW. Mr. B-Roll, I think it's time for a hot take. Let's go to our friend Husky Rhodes and his hot take.
PW60, what's up? It's your boy. This is supposed to be a hot take, but I kind of want to play off of a video that I sent in last week about the whole Takeshita joining the Elite thing. To anybody out there that watched BTE, you saw where they gave him the shirt, and everybody was excited except Kenny Omega. That got me thinking, because he said in there, they asked him like, what do you think? What do you think? And he's like, I mean, it's cool. You know what? This is fine. So that got my wheels spinning a bit. What if Kenny leaves the Elite, reforms the Golden Lovers, and if we don't get the Elite versus CMFTR at Wembley, we get the Golden Lovers versus the Young Bucks at Wembley? What do you guys think?
Dude, take my money now. I would love to see the Young Bucks against the Golden Lovers. We've already seen it before, but on that scale, oh my God, that would be amazing.
Speaking of Golden Lovers, though, here we go quite the opposite.
Yeah, and a hot take here. So some comments made earlier this week by one Chavo Guerrero Jr. Talking about Rey Mysterio Jr. and pretty much just more or less pulling a Will Smith and saying, you need to keep my family's name out of your fucking mouth. What do you make of this situation?
Meh.
I feel like it's a work. I really do. I think it's like, I don't know what the angle is, but I don't know. I think this is just Chavo's working, man. Trolling us. Who knows? But I don't know, man. It made some headlines, and he like kind of followed up with it too on his social media as well. Just pretty much just saying like, there's no need to use the Los Guerreros like name and like the gimmick, etc. And then how funny the LWOs like in WWE has been reformed, and like their entrance music, it starts off with the Viva la Raza, but hey man, it is what it is. But once an interesting week here in wrestling, and let's talk about the rest of Monday Night Raw. And you talked about, there you see it. How about Seth Rollins and Finn Balor both acknowledging, see what I did there, acknowledging the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I mentioned the LWO. They were in action against the Bloodline. What about that matchup with Cody against Finn Balor, huh? That was fucking awesome. I really enjoyed that. Love to see those guys work. You also saw Damian Priest go up against Rey Mysterio Jr. Overall, pretty solid Raw. What did you think?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely really solid. What was it? The Damage Control, and then Bianca, ended up having Liv and Raquel. I don't know. It was just kind of there to me.
Anything, I'm sorry, I love Bayley, but anything with Damage Control, I just am looking away. They need to split. It's that bad. But, and speaking of bad, let's talk about this piece of shit. Vince McMahon involved in another lawsuit. Shocking. Oh, what? Where he was being a racist on an offensive storyline? No, I can't believe it. The same freaking man who like called out and challenged God and actually advertised him on a pay-per-view. The same man who said a very derogatory and racial remark with Booker T. I mean, just fuck Vince McMahon. I'll say it before I'll say it again. Fuck this fucking pencil thin wearing, mustache, pancake eating motherfucker. Fuck this piece of shit. Not that there's anything wrong with pancakes. I don't know. I just like was quoting Draft Day there or something. But anyways, fuck Vince McMahon. Like, can't stand the guy. And of course, also too, there was rumors coming out that he was cutting segments from Raw, all of them involving female talents. But you know what? I'm not the only one who Vince and the WWE's grinding their gears. It's that time of the week. Let's go to our boy Ron with a little grinding my gears.
Yo, listen up. Ron here, and I want to tell you what grinds my gears this week in the world of professional wrestling. First off, I want to talk about Cody Rhodes being drafted to Monday Night Raw. So you mean to tell me Cody Rhodes now is pretty much going to become the next WWE World Heavyweight Champion? Talk about not finished as a story, right? This needs to be corrected. He better not win that belt. Otherwise, it takes away from everything they're trying to tell with Cody and Roman Reigns and winning the WWE title. I just don't get it. Triple H, come on, man. Do better than this. Damn! And speaking of the draft, you know what else really grinds Ron's gears? I tell you, I don't like how they're keeping some of these groups together that totally need to be split up. I mean, I love the Street Profits, but why the hell is Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins still together? Don't make ain't no damn sense to me. And how about Damage Control? Come on, man, that dumb run is cold. Hell, they've run that into the ground. You can refresh it, and now you put them over on SmackDown, along with Bianca, my girl. Come on, man, get with it. And finally, CM Punk. You're really grinding my gears. showing up at all these different company shows, trolling people left and right, man. First you go to WWE Raw, then you had an Impact tapings. Come on, man. What company you going to? Quit playing with fans' emotions, man. I know this is trolling on a whole new level. You know what Bradshaw and I used to do with trolls back in the days? We take them out back, we beat their ass. Keep it up. I'm gonna be looking for you, punk. And that's what grinds my gears this week in the world of professional wrestling.
Damn, Ron calling out CM Punk. That should be interesting.
He did not pull any punches, that's for sure.
He sure didn't. Well, hey, let's talk about the rest of Friday Night SmackDown. Of course, we know the draft taking place, the first round. Pretty loaded show, though, man. We got to see Butch go up against LA Knight. Talk to me, yeah. The Street Profits, the newly drafted Street Profits, going up against Ricochet and Braun Strowman. Selena Vega one-on-one against Sonya Deville. Like we said, the OC is now on Friday Night SmackDown and got to see the in-ring return, technically, of AJ Styles. So great to see him back with the OC. And that main event, that WrestleMania rematch, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens defending the tag titles against the Usos. The big thing I took away outside of the draft from this is the continuing storytelling with the Usos and Solo Sikoa. Like, just, they're so hesitant that Solo was, like, going to take out the Usos.
Paul Heyman.
Yeah. Oh, Paulie. But,
tonight is the night.
Yeah. And they, of course, it's like he's getting ready to come out and you're going to find out what's going on. What's he going to do? And then, of course, Riddle comes out. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the bloodline the rest of the way. Well, there was another exciting week on AEW Dynamite. Let's get into that. So you had a heck of an opening contest for the International Championship with Orange Cassidy against Bandito. Of course, Orange Cassidy retaining. He's on fire, man. He's just unstoppable right now. You also had Dax Harwood against Jeff Jarrett one-on-one. You also had the Pillars tournament, the finals, with Darby against Sammy Guevara. Sammy did end up winning after some shenanigans from MJF, but it was revealed that on next week's Dynamite, there will be a tag match with Sammy Guevara and MJF going up against Darby Allin and Jungle Boy Jack Perry. And if Jungle Boy and Darby wins, then it's a fatal four-way at Double or Nothing.
And you know what? I've got two things to add on this real quickly. One, we are loving the Sammy and MJF stuff. Love. And I'm also disappointed in us because I'm going to bring it up because we don't have a slide for this, but the MJF pickles.
Oh, yeah.
They're like,
I got it. Yeah.
Okay. I went and looked, honestly. They're already like sold out.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. That's awesome.
It is awesome. And you also, of course, we saw Roderick Strong return to AEW or make his debut in AEW. Finally, the showdown between Taya Valkyrie challenging Jade Cargill for the TBS championship. Of course, Jade would retain. And that main event, the new team of Takeshita and Kenny Omega going up against the Butcher and the Blade. Of course, the fallout from the end there with the Blackpool Combat Club coming out and attacking. And then, of course, blooding Takeshita, which is going to lead to something which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But Dynamite was a pretty fun show. But, man, I tell you, if you had to ask me what was the show of the week, I got to go with this, man.
Yep.
NXT Spring Breakin' was bringing it, dude. It was a hell of a show. I mean, this card was freaking loaded from top to bottom. You had Pretty Deadly against Tony D'Angelo and Stax in a trunk match. Braun Breaker against Andre Chase from the Duke University, or not Duke, the
Chase University.
Chase University. Thank you. Yeah. I would hate him then, but just saying. Cora Jade against Laya Valkyrie. And then of course, you got to talk about Carmelo Hayes and Grayson Waller in that main event for the NXT Championship. My goodness, what a war that was. And hey, guess what? that just so happens to be PW60's match of the week.
That is
Incredible
correct.
back and forth. Hopefully, Grayson Waller is okay because it did look like he was injured. And speaking of injuries, looked like Indy Hartwell had a little bit of a injury scare there in her
Yeah.
matchup against Roxanne and Tiffany Stratton. So
Yeah. And I just want to say, like, real quick, like props to Tiffany Stratton and Roxanne. Like, I mean, they just kept the match going.
Mhm.
And I was saying, I thought Indy was hurt enough that they were going to have to like do a complete audible and crown a new champ. But
Yeah.
kudos to her being able to get back out there and break up a couple pins and then get the pin. And then also with our match of the week though too, how about the aftermath of one Mr. Braun Breaker
Oh yeah, just
literally
scaring the shit out of people.
mellow into a mellow through a wall.
Yeah. It was a pretty awesome NXT, and definitely this was our match of the week. Well, it's come that time in our show. There's a lot going on in the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling, so let's go to the CDC with our New Japan report.
Greetings from Earth. This is Corey, also known as the CDC83 on TikTok, and this is your New Japan Pro Wrestling Week in Review / Recap. Starting off is a discussion about the events so far that have happened on this week's run for the Road to Wrestling Dontaku 2023. The matchup on the 23rd did not have a lot going on. However, this match was quite surprising. TMDK versus United Empire. The main reason why I say this was interesting is Kosei Fujita went the fuck off. It was a very excellent match. For a 4-man tag, a lot of times that can be very chaotic. However, this was a lot of enjoyment to be had with this one, especially seeing this young lion really just keep constantly stepping out and being elevated. It does feel more and more like he is just being fast-tracked through the New Japan's Young Lion system. April 27th's lineup was pretty good. The three biggest events of the night first started off with a special singles match with Doki versus Tetsuya Naito. This was a very excellent match, a great showing for Doki. Even in loss, he came out looking stronger than he's looked at any point so far in his New Japan run. The next match saw the IWGP Junior Tag titles being defended. Catch 22 against the Jet Setters, or International Jet Setters. It's not really clear because it seems like both are being shown and talked about. But anyways, Kevin Knight and Kushida dethroned United Empire's Catch 22 and TJP and Francisco Akira. The last match of the night saw the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title being contested for. Hiromu Takahashi defended against Yoshinobu Kanemaru. This was actually, surprisingly, Yoshinobu Kanemaru's first title match for the IWGP Junior title since coming over to New Japan Pro Wrestling. First time where he's really got to showcase what he can do as a singles competitor in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Although he did not win and that Hiromu Takahashi won, he still put up a valiant effort and really got to show himself and put just 5 guys, burgers and fries, even more on the map. The last set of matches on the night of April 29th for the Road to Wrestling Dontaku 2023 had a lot of great little tag action, but really the main focus was the 2 main events of the evening. The first main event saw the IWGP heavyweight titles being contested for. TMDK Shane Haste and Mikey Nichols fought valiantly against United Empire's Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis. However, hitting Coriolis, they got another win, continuing their dominance as the IWGP heavyweight champions. They are also currently the Strong Open Tag champions as well. The last match of the night saw the King of Pro Wrestling title, KOPW. The match was held under the Ultimate Triad rules. This means you have to have a knockout, a pin, and a submission in order to actually win. All 3. The match was contested between the current provisional champion, Shingo Takagi, against the challenger, Tai Chi. Tai Chi was looking at this as being a all-or-nothing match for himself, as he has had struggles in actually beating out Shingo. The match was neck and neck for a while, and although this was an excellent match, I would not say it was better than the first Ultimate Triad match featuring Aaron Hanare versus Shingo. However, that's irrelevant because in the end, Taichi did come out on top and is your new provisional KOPW title holder. Outside of the Road to Wrestling Dontaku 2023, there was multiple other notable items that were announced and teased this week. The first being the occurrence that's going to happen for a 4-way title match for the first ever NJPW Strong Open Women's Championship. This will be occurring at Resurgence on May 21st. In this match, we will see 4 different wrestling companies competing for the first holding of this title. CMLL Stephanie Vacour, I'm probably butchering that, and I apologize. NJPW's Mercedes Monet, AEW's Willow Nightingale, and Stardom's Momo Congo. Again, I apologize, I'm probably butchering that. Also announced this week was the lineup for the A and B block of the Best of the Super Juniors this year. This was actually quite an interesting card to see, as it was almost an even split between Japanese stars and foreign talent. And that'll wrap up this week's rundown, review, and recap of the New Japan Pro Wrestling Week in Review. This has been Corey from Earth.
There you
Love that guy.
I love him too. Hey, speaking of New Japan, there's just some more stuff going on with the Bullet Club. So let's go to our resident expert, Sienna, with the Bullet Club report for this.
So I know I haven't even posted anything Bullet Club related last week because there was like a little bit of development going on, but I do wanted to catch things up because there's been a lot going on, especially past Bullet Club members. So last week, David Finley did a interview with Sports Illustrated, which I highly suggest to check out, and it's a really good read because I found out through, of course, a dirt sheet site, but I did read the full article itself, and the interview was very impressive. He did talk about, his career in wrestling, how it started, being the son of, David Finley. And of course, he did take some shot at the Bullet Club Gold, which you can read the quote he said, but I highly suggest to read the full article. So pretty much, I understand that he wanted to make sure that the Bullet Club he is currently running on is more dangerous, more ruthless, and to make sure that the rest of the wrestling world know, well, pretty much in New Japan, that, Bullet Club is still going to be more ruthless as ever, instead of the whole t-shirt sale. But I definitely get that, where he's coming from, but him being a leader is very underwhelming. But at least now, he is more focusing on is just his upcoming title match at Wrestling Dotaku, which he did cut an amazing video promo on Tama Tonga, which I highly suggest check out his Twitter page though. And I feel that Wrestling Dotaku, which is going to be at May 3rd, it's going to be a very amazing show. And who knows, he may be winning the title or not, but we'll find out. And as for the rest of the Bullet Club members overseas, New Japan just announced recently during the Road to Dotaku, not too long ago, the participant for the upcoming Best of Super Junior 30 tournament, which is a tournament for the junior heavyweights to win not only the tournament, but also get a title shot for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. So for Block A, you have is Taiji Ishimori, and of course, even though he is part of Bullet Club, but, House of Torture is doing their own thing, you have Sho. And for Block B, you have newest member of Bullet Club, of course, Clark Connors. And if you want to ask me who I think will win the whole thing, please, it better be Speedball Mike Bailey. But as regarding for Bullet Club Gold, they are in a current feud with Shawn Spears and Ricky Starks. And on Friday episode of AEW Rampage, they successfully defeated them. But next Wednesday, Juice Robinson will be facing off against Ricky Starks. So the feud is still continuing. But let's go ahead and check in with past member of Bullet Club, which is AJ Styles and the Good Brothers. So these three fine gentlemen, and alongside Michan Mia Yim, they recently got drafted to SmackDown Live during the WWE draft, and AJ Styles cleared to wrestle. And that's all what's going on in the world of Bullet Club, though.
There you go, man, because everything's fine in the Bullet Club. So everything's okay. Well, it's that time of the week, Mr. B-Roll, where we announce our wrestler of the week. And brother, all I gotta say about it is this: Bomaye! 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 That's right. Alex Kane won Battle Riot. Fuck and yes. We were so honored and privileged to interview Alex a couple months ago on Learning the Ropes. And man, oh man, he went the distance in this one, B-roll. Drew number 1, and he lasted all the way to the end. And the master of the suplex, the leader of the Bomaye Fight Club, has got a guaranteed shot for the MLW Championship. And thus, he is our wrestler of the week. How excited were you to see our boy Alex Kane win the Battle Riot?
The mission is submission. And the mission is not complete yet.
No, it's not. No, I'm telling you.
He's taking him down.
He is going to be the guy that finally dethrones Alex Hammerstone. And hey, speaking of Alex Hammerstone, of course, we announced this last week. He did suffer an injury there at the War Chamber matchup. We did find out, though, thankfully, just a torn abductor muscle, not a super serious injury. He should be back in the ring here mid-May, so we will see him back a lot sooner than later. And that's good, not only for MLW, but for the rest of the wrestling world. But Mr. Hammerstone, you're on borrowed time, my friend, because that MLW championship is coming to Alex Kane. Bomaye! Just saying. And how about this, B-roll? It was announced this week that Kenny Omega will go one-on-one with Jon Moxley inside of Steel Cage on the May 10th episode of Dynamite, live from Detroit, Michigan. I remember you sent this to me as soon as it got announced, and you were just like, oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Yeah. It's, yeah. You know what's interesting is this is the same arena where they did Blood and Guts.
This is true.
It's just like, it's very interesting.
I can tell you there's going to be a lot of blood and guts in this matchup. But old Kenny, he is going to got a busy schedule this week because this got announced too. Hachi Machi, oh Dios míos. That's right. Triple Mania 31 in Tijuana, the main event. The rematch we've been wanting to see. Really the first match for the AAA Mega Championship. El Hijo del Faikino will defend against Kenny Omega. And remember, Kenny never really got beat or pinned for that championship. He did have to give it up due to injury. So, I don't know, man, but this is going to be interesting to see. It's like, take my money now. And the last Triple Mania was awesome. This one's going to be even better. You can guarantee it. And AEW Collision, of course, we all know. Obviously, it seems like Punk is going to come back, and he will be on Collision. However, also come out this week, too, that it's going to have a major debut or return in addition to CM Punk. What do you make of this?
Sorry, I was chuckling a little bit that he said that CM Punk was en route for a Collision. You're like, yeah, apparently he's going to get another backstage altercation now. I think, you could speculate all day about names. Is it Kota Ibushi? Is it blah, blah, blah? Who knows? It's probably freaking Gold. It's probably Goldberg. So let's just move on.
Let's hope and pray it's not. Well, hey, this was announced this week, too. It come out that Minneapolis is a finalist to host WrestleMania 41, and it could finally be coming to the state of Minnesota. There's been talk of this for years that Minneapolis could host a WrestleMania. I'm for it, man. I'd love to see it. I would go to Minneapolis for WrestleMania. You really? Huh?
Not going to happen. You want to know why?
Why?
This is Minnesota, and March is still technically a part of winter, so it's going to be cold.
Yeah, but it's an indoor arena.
Yeah,
an indoor stadium.
Yeah, but
I think it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Not going to happen.
It's going to happen. But all right, it's that time of the show, folks. Let's go to Jay with the dirt sheet news.
Oh, cool. All the draft picks in order. I really need. Hey, it's your boy Jay, bona fide member of the Dirt Sheet Press. And here are some stories you may have missed this past week within professional wrestling. Last week, Papa H announced a new world championship will be coming to the WWE. making Roman Reigns' undisputed WWE Championship disputed once more. But the favorite to win this World Championship is none other than Seth Rollins. Several are very high on Seth Rollins backstage. They even believe he should have been the first ever Universal Champion over Finn Balor. Now, if this happens, will Tony Khan follow suit and pull out the old Jon Moxley button, give him the AEW World Championship as well, so all three members of the Shield will be world champions at the same time? Only time can tell. Also, the WWE draft is a bit different this year, as networks have very little say-so compared to years previous. This is a tactic by Vince McMahon to assert some type of negotiating tactic, as his rights deals with both NBC Universal and Fox are up at the end of 2024. Also, Tony Khan has still torn over the whole CM Punk issue. The networks want CM Punk back for the debut of AEW Collision, but several within the company are still upset and do not want CM Punk back. But one of those locker room leaders and Tony Khan's best friend, Chris Jericho, met with CM Punk. Things seem to be okay, and they didn't fight. Chris Jericho is willing to even work with CM Punk. What a sacrifice that man is willing to make for Tony Khan. So we may be seeing CM Punk back in an AEW ring a lot quicker than a lot of people expected. Finally, Naomi, who left with Sasha Banks, is now in Impact Wrestling going under her real name, Trinity. Leaked photos have shown that Trinity is now in Impact, and you will be seeing her a lot sooner than later. Also, Sasha Banks, now known as Mercedes Moné, has lost her IWGP World Championship. To who? Nobody cares. But those just aren't the facts. Those are the dirty facts. The Dirt Sheet News!
News! Oh, poor Jay. The allergies kicking his butt this week. God bless you, sir. We appreciate you with the Dirt Sheet News. Speaking of appreciation, we always like to show appreciation to some of our favorite Wrestle Talk creators. And this week, we got a tremendous young man. Our Wrestle Talk creator of the week for this week is one Kashawn Johnson. And if you follow Kashawn, this guy, he is such an awesome guy. He is just like a beacon of light, just such a super positive dude, man. He puts out some really, he's a huge professional wrestling fan. Always putting out some wrestling stuff. He's got some pretty cool other stuff too. I've talked to Kashawn multiple times. Just a genuinely like sweet and nice and such an awesome dude, man. I can't say enough things about Kashawn. And he is our Wrestle Talk creator of the week. You definitely need to check him out, because like I say, he is just like, he's a good friend. He's a sweetheart of a man. I mean, I can't put him over enough. He's a good egg.
And if you're not following him, go follow him.
That's right. And some unfortunate news. Tommy Dreamer lost his mother this past week. So our thoughts and prayers or condolences out to him and his family. Also this week we lost Jerry Springer, passed away. So, and of course, Jerry Springer, if you think about it, he was really like, he was on Monday Night Raw as a guest host during that guest general manager time frame. But also, that being said, I mean, if you think about it, kind of a part of the Attitude Era, because he was kind of in that time frame with like just his show being in your face and kind of that mantra, if you will. So rest in peace to you, good sir. And how about this? AEW All In London tickets. So far, 60,000 fans have registered to purchase All In tickets. So it's a good sign for AEW going forward here. And oh, dear God. Are you okay? That's not freaking you out, is it, buddy?
We've talked about this. For some reason, the fact that I know it's Samoa Joe, I'm okay.
See, and for some reason, the fact that I know it's Samoa Joe, it freaks me out because Samoa Joe is playing Sweet Tooth in the new Twisted Metal series on Peacock. Some
Plus,
images
I
were
kind of
released.
grew up on this game too,
Oh,
so
I
that
love this game.
helps too. Yeah,
It's a great game. Hey, and a follow-up, we announced this last week. We now know what the episodes are going to be about on this season's Dark Side of the Ring. It's looking pretty good, man. I can't wait to see the Magnum TA one. JYD, Abdullah the Butcher, Bash at the Beach 2000, just to name some. Marty Jannetty will be an interesting
Bam
one.
Bam Bigelow. That's probably the one I'm most excited for.
And Doink the Clown, right? So
No.
And hey, finally, it was announced, although unofficially, but officially, but it appears All Out is happening this year, and it's going to happen in Chicago, apparently, or at least that's all signs point towards that. We don't have that 100%, but we do know it's going to occur the week after All In, which is going to be a crazy time for AEW. But hey, it's a crazy time for professional wrestling in general. And folks, it's come that time. We're going to wrap it up here as we covered the entire everything that happened in the world of wrestling in 60 minutes. We'll see you next week here on Pro Wrestling 60.